Big project. bringing you every sight, every sound, the action from all over Southern Ohio. We got 42 games to preview, 21 of which will air on our own platforms here at TotalMedia Sports tonight, albeit radio and or YouTube. We've got a lot in store, the biggest stories, the biggest games from around the region, not only tonight, tomorrow night as well, like you mentioned last night, and every other Friday around the area. Friday night starts here.
Just our second of 3 nights, as you mentioned, here for week 1 action. Obviously, we're very excited to be able to have the coverage we do. We'll push now the 2-hour to kickoff weather update, which is brought to you by just down the road, Hocking College here in Nelsonville, currently sitting at 81 degrees. Beautiful, very sunny, just a few tiny clouds throughout the sky. We'll move on to our Thursday recap. Looking last night, we'll kick things off with our Thursday game of the week recap. I just mentioned that the Jackson Ironmen making that trip over to Chillicothe to take on the Unioto Sherman Tanks. Unioto protecting home, getting that victory 35-21 just last night.
Man, it was a dominant performance by the Unioto Shermans as well. We were split right down the middle on how we kind of felt that one would go, as were a lot of fans in southeastern Ohio last night. One of 28 matchups across the state on a Thursday night to kick off the season, and it was, man, Unioto came out the gate quite hot. The game began with Isaac Coy rolling out left, completing the pass to Braden Harsha from the 4-yard line on 3rd and goal from the 4. That really got things moving for Unioto. Jackson bounced back nicely after Izzy Schindler took it in from 2 yards out. Yusef Wilson, he was a name that rung throughout Chillicothe last night. That young man had a lights-out game on both sides of the football. Ran it in from 1 yard out with 2:42 to go in the quarter, and then on the defensive side of things, made the play of the night, breaking this game wide open when he crushed CJ Crabtree on a sack, strip, fumble, recovery, house call, you name it. He checked every box on that play. Picked it up at the 50, ran it in right before the half. That's how the half ended. Took the score to eventually Unioto had a 28-7 lead. Jackson just couldn't get the wheels back on it. Seemed they fought hard, 35-21 final, as you mentioned, but an action-packed football game over in Chillicothe. We have a segment called Prove Ourselves Right. It felt like we proved ourselves right last night.
I couldn't agree more, and I have to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back. I'm 1-0 for Game of the Week picks this year. Of course, backing the Sherman Tanks last night. I'll give myself a little credit in that aspect, but no, I agree with you. I wrote down Unioto looks super disciplined throughout the greater part of a Week 1 game, mind you, really starting the season off on the right note, because it's the little mistakes that prove costly a lot of the times in those Week 1 games. Unioto did a nice job limiting them for the greater part of that game. And for Jackson, really a team that felt a little inexperienced, especially compared to, and I have to say the Jackson fan base is really spoiled in a lot of cases because, man, did the Ironmen put out some great programs, especially in that football department. And I think we're going to see a lot of improvement out of Jackson as the season moves on. Never doubt. Andy Hall, of course, does a great job with those guys. Has been for a long time now, and I think as Jackson continues to do the little things right, we're going to see a lot of improvement out of them. We'll move into some of our other Thursday matchup. Northwest making that trip to Piketon. Piketon, a shutout victory in that one, 41-0. Really, it was a great showing from that Piketon defense, as I mentioned. That's a huge launch pad game to start the season for Piketon, starting off 1-0, not only at home, but also in such dominant fashion. Now, Northwest, it really seemed like they were feeling the loss of some key players, especially there up front from a year ago.
Yeah, they were, and they're still big up front, but what they weren't able to do last night, just weren't able to establish any run. They weren't able to outspeed Piketon. They weren't able to get any edges or leverage that they really needed to run the football. Piketon just dominated on both sides of the football up front, if you want point blank truth. First play of the game, Childers takes it 74 yards for a touchdown, ends up getting called back, but even though the score itself is called back, the tone is set, and it just felt like the Mohawks were up against kind of an insurmountable Red Streaks team all night last night.
We'll move into our third matchup from last night. Hannibal River making that trip down to Portsmouth, Notre Dame. Now, Hannibal River going on the road, as I mentioned, a 41-6 victory. Really felt to me almost like a pretty surprising result. Really, River just flew out of the gates and never looked back. From the first quarter of course, the season on, and really just played a high level of football right out of the gates. Of course, Steve Irwin and his guys for Portsmouth Notre Dame still getting settled in a little bit, and I expect them to bounce back in a big way.
Yeah, they're going to have to, and last night they had a really hard stop in the run. River was lining up in the backfield with 2 and 3 guys in the backfield every play, had a quarterback that could run the football as well, and the Titans just really had no answer for it. Made for a really long night if you're a Titans fan down there at Spartan Municipal Stadium. Like you said, it's Steve Irwin's first game. I think they'll bounce back. I think he learned a lot about his team. They battled really hard in that game. Look, River's no slouch as well. That's going to be a playoff playoff team this year. Make no mistake about it. So they showed some nice things. I think Portsmouth Notre Dame will find themselves, but it's going to take a little bit of time for the Titans.
No doubt. We'll move into our final one here from yesterday's action. The Ironton Fighting Tigers making that trip up to Wheelersburg Ironton, a 42-0 shutout victory. They jumped out to an early 21-0 first quarter lead, and once again, it's an example of a team that never looked back. And it felt like a lot of the times yesterday we were talking about the offensive weapons for Ironton, but how about the speed, the tenacity right out of the gates for that defense? They said, don't forget about us. Over on the other side of the ball, as I mentioned, they were very fast-paced right from the get-go. They did the small things right. A lot of sound tackling, I should say, limiting those self-enforced errors. A nice job for the Fighting Tigers.
And you mentioned it. They looked right out of the gate and just didn't look back right at 21-0. They left Ironton and never looked back from the second they got on the buses. They were, like we talked about, happy to hit somebody wearing a different color jersey. It was firing on all cylinders. Offense started a little bit slow last night. Some bobbled snaps, some things off time. But, without having the leader of your program on the sidelines, with the fresh quarterback in there who's a sophomore, I thought did a really nice job as the game went on. Both backs in the backfield, Cottle and Harvey, both looked great throughout the game. You mentioned the spark that Caden Edwards provided. Ironton is going to be the real deal. And Jason Filial mentioned to us a little while ago on the phone, that defense is as advertised. That defense can flat out fly, and they can tackle. Two really good things to have on your side on the defensive side of the ball.
And it sounds like we will be hearing from Mr. Filial later on our post-game show. That coverage will begin at 9:30 tonight. We'll be heading back over to the Plaza in Jackson, bringing you all that action from after another great stretch of matchups we are very excited for tonight. We have a little bit of extra time, so we're going to give you a quick few previews of some action coming up tonight. We talked about a little bit last night. We'll start right off with a star-studded matchup, that Circleville-Chillicothe game. Two premier second-year coaches, and like I said, a lot of star power.
So much star power in this football game, and we're going to talk about this one a couple of times throughout the night, but we talked last night. This is a measuring stick in the first game of the season. We saw two squads last night that are used to seeing each other in the playoffs year after year, or seeing themselves in the playoffs year after year. Both of these two teams are going to be playoff contenders this season, and they'll probably both win 7+ games and find themselves there. Circleville improved a ton last year, 8-4 under Jay Sherrick. Now in his second year, two-time state champion head coach at the Division I level. I'm really excited to see what the Tigers bring into this season, but obviously you mentioned it. The guy in Southeastern Ohio to watch this season is going to be Cartay Liggett, 28 Division I offers. He's lights out in the backfield, 6 foot, 180 pounds. There's nothing he can't do with the football in his hands. He's big, he's strong, and he can fly. So he's electric anytime he touches the ball, and they get it to him every way they can.
Absolutely, no doubt. They really want to get him involved. That Cavalier star, as you mentioned, out of the backfield, just does a really nice job. Only a junior also to mention, so we'll talk a little bit more about him later. We'll move into a matchup I know you've talked about countless times, it feels like, that Ridgewood and Fort Fry game. Ridgewood starting last season off 7-0. Now Fort Fry dropping that Week 1 game, starting last year 0-1, but then rattled off 9 straight after that.
Yeah, they did. And that 9 straight run took them to yet another postseason under Eric Huck, who's in his 19th season with the program. They've been to the playoffs every year since 2015. They averaged 10.4 wins per season. We mentioned last night, maybe my favorite stat of the night, since 2020, Fort Fry has played 14 home playoff games. I mean, it's just crazy what Coach Huck's got that program doing over there. And he's been there 2 decades, and it's been wash, rinse, repeat. They're playing good football. And tonight, they're going against a Ridgewood General squad that's also pretty well coached themselves. John Sluster's been there 27 seasons. In this 27 seasons, they made the playoffs 18 times. And like I said, just a lights out coach. Both of these teams are perennial playoff teams in D6. They bumped up to D5 this year. I think they're both in Region 19. I know Fort Fry's in 19. I think they're both in the same region. It's going to be a lot of fun. This could be a Week 11 matchup.
No doubt. And the Generals and the Cadets, as you mentioned, that one, an elite mascot matchup.
Yes,
no doubt. I think we're seeing Trimble starting to roll in across the field here at Nelsonville-York, Boston Field. We're very excited. We're going to take a quick break. We have a few more matchups to look into, including the one we are on site for tonight, as well as the one we'll be on site for tomorrow night for our third of 3 days. Football Friday night coverage here in Week 1 resumes right after this.
Big projects, tough challenges, strong communities.
For more than 80 years, Stockmeister Construction Services has helped shape Southern Ohio through trusted construction, design-build solutions, mechanical contracting, and custom fabrication.
Learn more at stockmeister.com or call 740-286-8000. Looking for a rewarding career? Visit jobs.stockmeister.com. Stockmeister Construction Services. We can do together.
Don't let bone, joint, or muscle pain keep you on the sidelines. Whether it's a sports injury, sprain, or strain, the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute Express Clinic offers walk-in care with no appointment needed. Get expert orthopedic care quickly. Visit adina.org/express clinic for more information. That's adina.org/express clinic.
Need reliable heating and cooling? Airclass Heating and Cooling has you covered. From furnaces to AC generators to fireplaces and indoor air quality, we keep your home comfortable all year. Call 740-448-7278 or visit us at 24 State Street. Airclass, comfort you can count on.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.T. Hoy, LLC has you covered. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transportation. A.T. Hoy, charting a course for care.
For more than 90 years, Austin Powder's Red Diamond Plan has been part of the Southern Ohio community, and today that legacy is stronger than ever. Austin Powder continues investing in the people and communities that make this region strong. They're now hiring for several positions, including maintenance technicians starting at $24 to $32 an hour, electrical and instrumentation technicians starting at $28 to $32 an hour, and operations positions starting at $19 to $28 an hour. Apply today at austinpowder.com/United States/careers or call 740-596-5286.
COAD Senior Programs is a proud sponsor of all of Southeastern Ohio football programs and all of their student athletes. To become an AmeriCorps Senior Volunteer who makes a difference in your community, call 740-594-8499 or find them on the web by searching COAD Senior Programs. COAD, improving the quality of life for individuals and families in Appalachian, Ohio since 1971.
Press 1 if you know your party's extension. Press 2.
Representative! We've all been there. At Corby Leach State Farm, you can skip the phone maze because you'll talk to real humans. People who know your name, understand your community, and are ready to help protect what matters most. Auto, home, renters, life, or business insurance.
Welcome back to Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. We'll pick up right where we left off, our second segment of the evening, Attack the Area. We're giving you some quick previews of some games throughout southeastern Ohio area. We'll kick things right off with where we are standing on ground at tonight. Nelsonville-York playing host to the Trimble Tomcats. And in this one, I said this last night, I have Trimble defined as unpredictable. I think that is the key word I would use to describe this team, and I think they can surprise a lot of people, especially here in a week one, a big-time matchup here at Nelsonville-York. Of course, Nelsonville-York undefeated just a year ago before that loss to Wheelersburg in the playoffs, but obviously that not a bad loss at all. We saw what Wheelersburg did last season, so definitely a quality team.
If your season's going to end, right, might as well be to the Berg if it's going to, right? But I know Nelsonville feels some type of way, so I won't say that too loud here at Ground Zero Boston Field here tonight, Football Friday Night. Right? This is going to be a great football game. That's why we're here, right? Since 08, this has been played in week one. We talked a little bit about that last night. And since this game has been played in week one, it's a 10-8 series with the edge of the series going to Nelsonville-York. Trimble in that time averages 16 points a game, while Nelsonville-York averages 18.3. So I hope you like those defensive gloves off type of football games, because that's usually what you get. In the last 10 years, this series has been split down right down the middle, 5-5. 4 of these 10 games in that series, or in that time, decided by 7 points or less. This will be the first year, though, since 1993 that Phil Ferris isn't in charge of the Tomcats, but that kind of creates an interesting perspective in this one. We'll dive into a little bit more when Daniel Barnard joins us here in a little while. But before Phil Ferris was here, Terry Holbert's dad was the coach of the program, Greg Holbert, and I just think that creates a really interesting dynamic with now the son coaching, his alum program, and it just creates a lot of different interesting dynamics. That's kind of why we chose tonight's game. It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Definitely a lot of cool storylines building behind the scenes on site here in Nelsonville. We'll move right in to where we'll actually be on site for tomorrow night, so be sure to look out for that one. Megs making that trip to Easter Megs, that rivalry matchup. Megs under 30-year head coach Nolan Yates. Now, Easter Megs, some people feel like they might have stole one from Megs last year, that week 1 thriller just a season ago.
It was a thriller a season ago, and I think this season has the opportunity to be the very same type of football game. Stylistically, we spoke about this last night just a bit. I love this type of matchup because one of the questions we answered in preseason when we did our host Q&A was whether we'd like to see a team that throws it 40 times or runs it 40 times, right? Well, in this game, you're going to have the opportunity to see both. So Easter Meg's going to come out trying to run the football. Gunnar Cleland, he's going to throw it 40 plus times in this football game, and that's just the way it's going to go. It's going to be a fun game over at East Shade River Stadium. They have confirmed that will be the location. They tossed a few different locations around. Would this be played at Joe Burrow Stadium right down the road, or even Peden Stadium was considered at one point? But they have confirmed that game will be played at East Shade River Stadium in Tuppers Plains. Coach Jackson's team's going to open up with a home game against a rival they've only taken on 4 times, now 4 times in program history. I love this new county rivalry in Meigs County. This game's going to be a blast.
It really speaks to the new era of modern day high school football we are living in, especially here in southeastern Ohio. We'll move right in a little further, closer down to the river. Portsmouth going to pay a visit to the Wheelersburg Pirates. We just talked about them, and man, playing at Wheelersburg, no easy task, of course, up there on the hill above the Ohio River and Ohio River Road. And this is the matchup, I said, where everybody in Scioto County is going to be for week 1. Of course, as we mentioned, Berg coming off that state appearance from just a year ago.
Yeah, huge Scioto County matchup to open up the season. Wheelersburg with a ton of momentum to open up the season. Just seems like wash, rinse, repeat down in Berg for Coach Rob Woodward and his team. But this year, though, I think it's kind of a story of 2 different programs and 2 different timelines, right? Berg comes in where it's at, and obviously the Trojans are coming in under new head coach Brandon Sammons, replacing Bruce Cobb. We're hearing some questions about the numbers of the program at the moment, so could be a fun football game. I know that all of Scioto County is going to be in on this football game. Here goes the voice again. You're hearing it? It's starting again already, but this is going to be a fun football game down in Scioto County, man. Just roll up your sleeves, though, if you're the Portsmouth Trojans. You got your work cut out for you on the road.
No doubt about it. Speaking of storied matchups, we'll move right into that Athens and Logan game, of course, being played there at Chieftain Stadium, the 99th all-time matchup between these 2 teams. Of course, just a season ago, Athens shutting out Logan 41-0 to kick off last year.
Took 365 days to score a touchdown, just 98 meetings ago, right? So a lot of history in this rivalry. It's been a very fun series throughout all of its history. Logan leads the series 54-40 over the Bulldogs. As you mentioned, 99th meeting. This rivalry took a break between 08 and 14. Since 15, this rivalry has been awesome. Logan actually holds the series edge 5-4 over Athens in that time. And tonight, Logan's beginning a new chapter under Nate Hall, the 35th head coach of the Logan Chieftains in program history. They're trying to get this program back to the Dale Amix days, where Chieftain fans carried a lot of pride around and a whole lot of SCUAL championships. They rubbed in my face back then in the day as a Jackson kid as well. But very proud program. I think Coach Hall will get them back on track, and it very well could begin tonight. They're returning some very key guys we'll talk about later.
Oh, absolutely. Got to agree with you there, Eric. We'll move into a matchup I'm pretty excited about. Fairland Dragons playing host to the Portsmouth West Senators, of course, having to make that trip east down 52 just in southern Ohio. A week 1 thriller just a season ago. Portsmouth West claiming the victory in that one 30-27. However, it's first-year head coach Ron Wooten for Fairland, a very offensive-minded coach, and man, he has built some dangerous Fairland offenses in the past few years.
He has tight ends and running backs is his description, but when he's got weapons at his disposal, he knows how to use them in any position. And I'm really interested to see how he fares in his first game and first 10 years as the program leader down there in Proctorville. Portsmouth West is going to come into this game looking to run the football. That's what they do. That's their identity. Todd Gilland is cut out to run the football. It's just what they try to do down there. Defending the rock. as well in their home field. But I love what they do. I think they're going into a place that's generally a tough environment. It's just a matter of whether Fairland has the spark in the senior class that, new senior class after a year ago didn't see the season go really the way they wanted it to. It'll be interesting to see how that team tries to compete tonight against the Senators team that's been to the playoffs 5 years in a row. We'll see what happens.
So definitely going to be some bouncing back to do for Ron Wooten, who, as I mentioned, is familiar with that program already. Will move right in Washington Courthouse, making that trip over to Mechanicsburg. We look back once again to a season ago. Mechanicsburg, that 6-game win streak throughout the middle of last season, and playing an identical schedule to just a year ago.
Yeah, very identical. We talked about that a little bit last night as well. And head coach Chuck Williamson is a guy that we haven't talked about quite as much as I would like to, which is why we're doing this show 3 nights in a row this week, right? Head coach Chuck Williamson, he's in his 9th season with the program, took a break for a couple of years while Dave Everson coached the program. But Chuck Williamson, in his time, in his 9 years as the program leader at Washington Courthouse, he's 62-33. That's 652. That's a guy that knows how to win, knows how to get it done. And he's got some serious weapons returning this year. Sam Pfeiffer threw for 37 touchdowns a year ago on 2,900 yards, and he brings back his guy, flat out dude, Aiden Osborne at receiver, who reeled in his number of those yards, 1,300 receiving yards a year ago. Both of these guys are senior captains this year. I know they've got big expectations and a wide open FAC now. I think everyone saw that this conference is wide open after last night now. They're going to be hunting against the Mechanicsburg team tonight in Mechanicsburg that knows how to win football games as well. It's going to be 2 great coach teams, 2 really interesting styles of play, and I'm excited to see what happens here.
Going to be a lot of firepower on the offensive end right out of the gates in that matchup. The last one I have on here, another one moving back down south closer to the river. It's Chesapeake playing host to a Sims Valley team who was really great, to describe them, a year ago in 2025. Now for Chesapeake, on the other hand, just that lone W last year against Rock Hill.
Yeah, for Sims Valley, though, man, I mean, they took a real step forward last year. Bronx Carpenter leading the way at quarterback, and regardless of all the history that's occurred in this series, 49-8, 1,600 points to 600. Forget all about all that tonight. Bronx Carpenter's not going to be having any of that. Last year, his receiving core took a really nice jump as well. The only time they really struggled was when they took on Beaver Eastern, and Beaver Eastern just showed up, pressed them on the line of scrimmage, and they really couldn't figure it out. I think that Sims Valley, the receiving core, I think they're going to take a step forward in 2026. And if that core jumps up with Bronx Carpenter, watch out, because they are going to be dynamite in the SOC. Move
right into our next little mini segment here. 3 games that we will be watching for around the area. I'll lead things right off. The Waverly Tigers paying a visit over to Miami Trace. Waverly looking to bounce back after maybe a rougher 2025, especially by Waverly standards. What a great program they have built, really, in multiple sports there. Miami Trace looking to continue some momentum that they gained from last year, really picking up things at the back half of 2025.
Yeah, I'll begin with Waverly here with you. Coach Crabtree's done a really nice job down there in his tenure in Waverly. In Tiger Town, they refer to it in Waverly. Very proud town. They love their football. They too have their own version of Midnight's Madness as well. It's a really good program. Last year, very emotional program, or very emotional year for the Tigers program following the loss of teammate Dres Bolin Hitchens. And you felt for the program all year long. I think they're happy to be through that. They've seen some real improvement, especially at quarterback position. Gunnar Myers, I think, showed some real improvement with his arm. Just a great quarterback game as well. Gunnar Myers, 1 of 2 twins, him and Sawyer, both big-bodied kids. So Waverly's got a few weapons to its disposal, but I'm just afraid that Miami Trace is going to have the Tigers outmanned tonight, because between these 2 cats, Tigers and Panthers, I fear the Panthers may have the edge because of a name, Julian Baker, 2,100-yard returning rusher. He's now in his senior year. He is a big, strong, fast kid. Keep your eyes open for this kid, because he's lights out if he touches the ball.
Lightning in a bottle going to be on display for that home crowd tonight for the Panthers. We'll circle back to a matchup we touched on earlier. It's that Circleville-Chillicothe game. We already talked about the great coaching matchup as well as the star power, which I have a few guys we're going to talk about here in a minute. But really, just tell me the importance of this matchup right there, kind of closer to Central Ohio.
Yeah, man, it is a huge matchup. I think each of these teams will win 7 games. I think they'll each make the playoffs. Circleville in D4, Chillicothe in D3. Both 2 tough regions as well. I think this is a huge measuring stick game, and I think both these coaches in their second year with the program really want to test their team to see where they stand early on, what they got to work on. Why not get a playoff look in week 1 if you can, right? Make it count and get the look. So I think that's what both of these teams are thinking. I think it'll be a very telling sign for what's in store for the MSL conference with Circleville, or the Buckeye, that is, MSL Buckeye, and the FAC with Chillicothe. I think tonight will tell a really big picture about those two conferences.
Last but not least, wrapping up this section, I have the Russell Red Devils got to travel across the Ohio River this time over to the Ohio side to take on Cole Grove. Of course, two very successful programs overall, and both coming off of strong 2025 campaigns.
Very strong 2025, and I just know that Cole Grove, isn't returning quite what it would like to be returning, but guys got to step up, right? You're a young program, Division V program. You got to step up. I think Cole Grove might have dropped to D6 if I'm not mistaken. I don't have that right in front of me at the moment, but nonetheless, they're going to have to figure out a way for some new guys, new faces who aren't Caden Murphy and Caden Turner to step up and make a name for themselves tonight against a pretty good Russell squad.
No doubt about it. Of course, that being 3 games we will be watching. We'll step away once again for just a moment. We will return to you just momentarily. Tonight's game breaker, some star power around the area to look out for, coming to you next on Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
Press 1 if you know your party's extension. Press 2.
We've all been there. At Corby Leach State Farm, you can skip the phone maze because you'll talk to real humans. People who know your name, understand your community, and are ready to help protect what matters most. Auto, home, renters, life, or business insurance. You'll get real conversations and real help every step of the way. Call Corby Leach State Farm today at 740-385-6878.
Real humans, real help, real good neighbor.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Farmers Bank, they've been helping neighbors grow for over a century with personal checking and savings, business loans, convenient online and mobile banking, and customer service that treats you like family. Whether you're planting roots or planning your future, Farmers Bank will help every step of the way. Stop by one of their local branches today and experience why Farmers Bank is your hometown bank since 1904. Member FDIC. Farmers Bank, growing with you.
From first kicks to Friday night touchdowns, I'm Carrie, owner of a Future Look 3D/4D ultrasound, and I'm proud to be rooted right here in our community. I love celebrating the moments that bring families together and supporting the local athletes who make game night special. Because when our community comes together, everybody wins. Visit afuturelook.com to book your ultrasound today, and follow A Future Look on Facebook for adorable baby moments, updates, and more. A Future Look 3D/4D ultrasound, proudly supporting local sports.
It's game on time, Southern Ohio. Time to sit on those metal bleachers and cheer loud for your favorite high school football team. The only thing that might make the night better is a more comfortable seat. You know I'm right. As a proud supporter of all the area teams here at Globe Furniture, we have the solution for you. A brand new recliner. And while that may not work at those high school games, college game day, NFL games at home, we've got you covered. Recliners starting at $5.99 right here at Globe Furniture in downtown Chillicothe.
Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new Quad Rib panel from Higgins Steel Roofing. Quad Rib delivers the clean appearance homeowners love while using an exposed fastener system for faster, more affordable installation. Choose from 8 textured colors and 16 smooth colors to match any home or building. Get the look you want at a price you'll love. Visit Higgins Steel Roofing and ask about the new Quad Rib roofing panel. Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new Quad Rib panel from Higgins Steel Roofing. Quad Rib delivers the clean appearance homeowners love while using an exposed fastener system for faster, more affordable installation. Choose from 8 textured colors and 16 smooth colors to match any home or building. Get the look you want at a price you'll love. Visit Higgins Steel Roofing and ask about the new Quad Rib roofing panel.
Whether you're on the go or there's just not enough time in your day, Holzer is making care more convenient for you. Don't feel like leaving the house for healthcare? Don't. Holzer Virtual Care for when and where you need it. Think Holzer first.
Need new tires? Rick's Tire and Auto has you covered. Looking for top-notch auto service? Rick's Tire and Auto has expertise. And now they're bringing their A-game to Athens County. Owned by Rick Dieter, formerly of Huddle Tire in Athens. Rick's Tire and Auto Service is located at 1353 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Right off the first Nelsonville exit on 33.
Welcome back to Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. We're going to get right in to our game breakers for tonight's action. I have two guys that are actually lining up on the same side of the ball, playing for the same team. Leading off, it's Carte Ligon out of the backfield, that running back position. He'll be wearing number 0 for the Cavaliers. Look out for him, 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, only a junior, a 4-star recruit, the number 10 ranked running back in that class of 2028, number 5th ranked player in Ohio for that class.
You mentioned wearing 0 to 100 real fast at Bernstein Field. It has the opportunity to be anyway. Carte Ligon is explosive with the football in his hands. He's a game breaker tonight. He's a game breaker in week 2, 3, 4, any other night he's on the field for that matter, as long as the young man stays healthy. He's lights out. We'll talk about a young guy a young man that's paving the way for him here in just a moment. But when this man gets the ball with a little bit of space, and he doesn't need much, watch out. We've already seen what he can do this postseason against Guy Academy. So this is he's a lights out performer. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Talk about the guy you just mentioned playing right in front of him. I'm sure it's got to be one of his best buddies when they're together on the field. It's Connor Rutherford from that same Chillicothe team, sporting the number 79. He stands 6 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in right at 300 pounds. He is a senior this year, a 3-star NC State commit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that obviously hasn't missed many meals, but you still make sure he's in the line first on Thursday night for pregame, because you want to keep this guy happy. He's a big body. He's the guy paving the way for Carte Ligon. He's going to be the guy doing it all season long. And he's going to be an ACC player one day, it sounds like, by the sounds of it. Just a really, really gifted player. He's a big kid, and you'll be surprised how well he can move from the tackle position. TJ Carper's not afraid to pull him on some GT counter type of stuff, and he can also get out in space on tunnel screens. So he's a guy, if you're a DB, you don't want to find yourself on the wrong end of that guy in space. So maybe you just try to tackle Carte Ligon and avoid Big 79 tonight.
It's only right of us to pay our respect to the offensive linemen who win the game in the trenches,
every day.
Rutherford will be trying to do for the Cavaliers tonight, playing against Circleville, of course, playing host to Circleville in that matchup. We'll move right into a segment we like to call Prove Ourselves Right. We'll be talking about the game we are on site for tonight here in Nelsonville and some keys to tonight's FFN Game of the Week. We'll start off with the Trimble Tomcats. For me, the main thing is going to be limiting mistakes. Of course, being week 1, you're going to see a few mistakes early. It's about bouncing back from them, really trying to just limit those small little things that can really haunt teams in week 1 games.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to go into this game giving the Buckeyes free possessions. You don't stack up as that team against this team. And if we can't prove ourselves right tonight, we got a couple of gentlemen here nearby that are going to hop on here in a moment and prove ourselves right here in the next segment. Daniel Barnard, Tad Steinbrink ready to join us as well, the Athens County Game of the Week crew. But this is going to be a lights out football game. I'm really excited about as far as environment and things like that go. I fear that Trimble's going to have a tough time keeping it competitive, slowing down this Nelsonville-York offense that only got better. I know numbers are down a little bit, but as far as what's returning, this is a pretty stout returning class as far as the skill positions go and things like that. So I look for NY to come in swinging in this game, but Trimble, as you mentioned, they got to limit their mistakes if they're going to have a fighter's chance in this game. You can't give NY free possessions.
It's really going to be also for Trimble about trying to control that pace of the game. You want to try to force the hand of the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes, really not playing into their hands, I should say, especially here at home for Nelsonville-York, really trying to not build into the crowd atmosphere that is going to be so electric building here shortly. Another thing for Trimble, kind of my last point with them, playing with confidence, feed into the excitement that I actually sat in on a press conference with a few of their players and, of course, their head coach this past Sunday evening, and really they were really confident, really amped up for this week 1 matchup. So I think if they can bring that energy to Nelsonville, to the field tonight here at Boston Field, it's going to pay dividends.
Week 1 rivalries they're not necessarily won in the games themselves. Sometimes these things are won in the summer with your prep, your work, and Trimble has a lot of unknowns. You mentioned the unpredictability factor. You've now got a new head coach. It's going to be the first year you're not seeing the wishbone just punching you in the mouth in quite some time. Wasn't always Phil Ferris' staple, but in recent years, especially last decade, that's kind of the path that this program's been on. So Coach Holbert's going to try to open it up. So you kind of wonder what matchups you might be able to create, but at the end of the day, it's 11 on 11, and you've got to figure out a way to get yourselves in position to take advantage of whatever NY is able to give you.
So speaking of the Buckeyes, I think the first key I will lead off for them, it's going to be about trying to speed up Trimble. We talk about Trimble, a younger team in a lot of places, a lot of those positions, as you will learn as the evening progresses. So Nelsonville-York, if they can kind of speed up that Trimble, try to keep them off rhythm, that's going to be very helpful in their case of winning. This team also a lot of confidence to win the league. I'll talk about a quote from their head coach, Rusty Richards, just here in a moment, but talk about really Nelsonville-York trying to speed up the game, playing to the tempo that they prefer.
Well, I think that their goal is, especially offensively, speed things up. I'm not saying no huddle necessarily. You might see some no huddle, but I think you'll see short huddles. I think you'll see NY, especially early on in the game, scripted plays. I think you'll see them come out of the gate looking for different looks, figuring out where their matchups are. But like I said, this comes down to which 11 on 11. And I just think that NY simply has more guns right now going into this one. But NY just needs to play their style of football. It's always been downhill fast. Spoke to Daniel a moment ago about what NY is looking to do this year. I think they want to open it up a little bit more. We'll let him speak to that a little more here in a moment. But Rusty Richards and his offense, they know what they want to do. He knows what weapons he's got at his disposal. They're going to speed this game up and try to make Trimble play at their tempo.
Speaking of head coach Rusty Richards, we actually asked him kind of about his goals for the season. He said he wants to win that first one against the team over the hill, being this evening. He wants to win the last one against the green team, not even referring to the name, of course. I'm sure you guys can guess who he is referring to.
I have no idea.
And he said, if you can do those two things, that will usually lead to a TVC championship. So, Eric, really, I just want to know your thoughts on this. Talk about his confidence heading into this Week 1 game.
Yeah, I mean, in this county, it seems to be, that seems to be the theme. If you can come out of those two games here as a Buckeye, it seems to lead to good paths, even into the postseason. We saw that a year ago, right? So, I think hard for me to speak it any better than Rusty Richards himself, right? The man's done excellent work down here. It's like I said, he's as top-notch as it gets. His players love him. He can make anyone run through a brick wall to play football for him on Friday night. So, I mean, he's as high level as it gets as far as coaches go. But, yeah, he's going to be it's going to be a fun football game.
I think you can expect this Buckeye squad to really, as I mentioned, play into the home field advantage that will be on hand here at Boston Field. We'll move right in to some position matchups. I have written down first and foremost here, expect this game to be high energy. We talked about the tempo a little bit, especially from this NY offense that we're expecting to see, and the crowd and atmosphere, I would imagine, is going to match that energy throughout the entirety of this one. Some key players, we'll talk about Trimble at first. It's going to be that offensive line, giving a young guy, of course, that sophomore starting quarterback for Trimble. I'll get his name here in a moment, but really giving him some operating time under center.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. They got to give him some time to really settle into this game and find a way to be patient in Bryson Dixon, that is. But, he's going to have a lot to learn. This game will be a learning curve in a lot of ways for him. I think Terry Holbert's understanding of that, and I think he's going to be there for his young quarterback tonight. But, make no mistake about it, you're getting thrown to the wolves. This is a team that was in the regional championship a year ago, and I think they're going to come out hungry and wanting to win this game. They've got skill positions and key spots, and I think that's going to create a lot of stress for the young quarterback. But if his O-line can protect him and give him some sort of chance to get the ball out and make something happen, we'll see what the Tomcats can do.
I think if Bryson Dixon has that time, it kind of goes back into that unpredictability I talked about. It creates some really interesting situations for the Tomcats that they can potentially capitalize on in this matchup. We'll move right into the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. It's the guy under center for them, Cameron Sullivan. Man, we talked about his frame. This dude is massive. I believe he's 6'3", 230 pounds. He's not afraid to use his legs, and he does a nice job taking care of the ball, which, of course, is huge in Week 1 matchups.
You're exactly right. And he's a returning 1,100-yard passer and ran for 500 yards a year ago. He can do both when he needs to. Rusty Richards knows how to use him, but also he does a really good job of getting other guys involved. It wouldn't surprise me to see Rusty Richards come out doing some RPO stuff with him now being a 3-year starter here himself. He's again a very talented player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the step that he's making. Also the cast around him, Walker Stone, Weston Wheatley now coming over from Athens. He's going to make his impact felt on the edge, and it'll be interesting to see how Cameron Sullivan uses him on the outside as a weapon also.
Definitely some nice weapons, as you mentioned. Those skill positions for the Buckeyes going to be very exciting to see how they handle the pressure here at home Week 1 hosting Trimble. That wraps up this segment. We'll take another short break, and we're coming back with our next segment, which we expect many of you to find to be one of our fan favorites, that being our fourth one, Goosebumps and Tears. We're going to talk backstory to this matchup coming up next on Football Friday Nights.
Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new Quad Rib panel from Higgins Steel Roofing. Quad Rib delivers the clean appearance homeowners love while using an exposed fastener system for faster, more affordable installation. Choose from 8 textured colors and 16 smooth colors to match any home or building. Get the look you want at a price you'll love. Visit Higgins Steel Roofing and ask about the new Quad Rib roofing panel.
Whether you're on the go or there's just not enough time in your day, Holzer is making care more convenient for you. Don't feel like leaving the house for healthcare? Don't. Holzer Virtual Care for when and where you need it. Think Holzer first.
Need new tires? Rick's Tire and Auto has you covered. Looking for top-notch auto service? Rick's Tire and Auto has expertise. And now they're bringing their A-game to Athens County. Owned by Rick Dieter, formerly of Huddle Tire in Athens. Rick's Tire and Auto Service is located at 1353 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Right off the first Nelsonville exit on 33 West. Stop in for a quick tire change or oil change or schedule an appointment by calling 220-218-4169. At Rick's Tire and Auto, we have your vehicle covered.
The Medicare open enrollment period takes place annually from October 15th through December 7th. During this time, Medicare beneficiaries can make changes to their Part D prescription drug plan and Part C Medicare Advantage plans. The Area Agency on Aging District 7 can help answer questions and offer unbiased information and direction for Medicare beneficiaries. For more information, call 1-800-582-7277 or email info@aaa7.org.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
This football season, Willis Advantage Property Maintenance Solutions is proud to support our local teams. From asphalt repair and parking lot stripping to more handyman services, we make the play on your property. Call 740-577-4574.
Big projects, tough challenges, strong communities.
For more than 80 years, Stockmeister Construction Services has helped shape Southern Ohio through trusted construction, design-build solutions, mechanical contracting, and custom fabrication.
Learn more at stockmeister.com or call 740-286-8000. Looking for a rewarding career? Visit jobs.stockmeister.com. Stockmeister Construction Services. We can do together.
Don't let bone, joint, or muscle pain keep you on the sidelines. Whether it's a sports injury, sprain, or strain, the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute Express Clinic offers walk-in care with no appointment needed. Get expert orthopedic care quickly. Visit adina.org/express clinic for more information. That's adina.org/express clinic.
Need reliable heating and cooling? Airclass Heating and Cooling has you covered. From furnaces to AC generators to fireplaces and indoor air quality, we keep your home comfortable all year. Call 740-448-7278 or visit us at 24 State Street. Airclass, comfort you can count on.
We welcome you guys back to Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Now, for all of you Athens County fans in the area, these guys might need no introduction, but if you guys would, go ahead, introduce yourself to the fans. Just tell them what you guys have been up to here for football season.
Yeah, appreciate you, Riley. Appreciate you, Eric, Jeffrey, back behind the camera as well. I'm Daniel Barnard. I Joined with my man Tad Steinring right here, the brush hunter over on WXTQ. But yeah, we're going to be calling the game tonight over on Pure Rock 105.5 WXTQ, the Athens County High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Merchants National Bank. So yeah, we're really excited to get it going. Battle over the hill. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Let's get to the most important thing here first, bud.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's
get
do
the
it.
swag out.
Yeah,
The
Rocky Outdoor
Gear Store swag. They hooked up our boys here. All right,
running from the mic.
Come on over here, Eric. Yeah, buddy, got your nice shirt there. Got your nice hat. Look at that. There we get you all hooked up.
I'm
buddy.
committed. I'm going to Rocky.
Now, I don't know if Riley's old enough to even know what goes next, but I'm gonna give it to him. He'll grow into it. I'm sure.
Going to eat for that. I can take that.
All right, we'll give him the sweatshirt then. All right, and there's buddy, you get some socks. All right, everybody wants some socks. Yeah.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate we appreciate the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store for sponsoring a number of things that we do in high school football. You look at this field, it's largely due to Rocky, the money that they poured into Boston Field when they rebuilt it, and it's just a beautiful field. I told you guys when I got here, is this not the most beautiful field in all Southeast Ohio? In my opinion, of course, I'm a little bit biased.
Of course, this being my first time actually here at Boston Field, but as soon as I stepped on site, I thought the same exact thing. The brick, of course, you see the brick and just so much history here behind us. You see it on the home side. It's really just, as you mentioned, a beautiful place to be. We'll jump right in to this week 1 matchup. Trimble paying a visit here to Nelsonville-York. Now, you've had a chance to watch a lot of these Athens County teams up close. So when you look at this matchup specifically, kind of what sticks out to you guys?
Yeah, I think this one specifically, obviously you guys hit on it a little bit just a minute ago, Riley. It's the fact that both of these teams graduated quite a few seniors last year. They both got a bit younger, but I think Nelsonville-York returning a lot more veteran presence than maybe Trimble might be, or in terms of, obviously we see Bryson Dixon starting at quarterback tonight. He's a sophomore. He was here last year, but Nelsonville-York, a lot more juniors and seniors on this roster. And they've got Rusty Richards, who's an 11th year head coach, right? Terry Holbert coming in as first years. Our papers are going flying away from us, but we don't need them. We're good. Terry Holbert coming in as his first year at Trimble, but he just spent 11 years at Logan Elm too, so he's no stranger to Southeast Ohio football. But I think the big thing that stands out to me going into this matchup is the familiarity that Nelsonville-York has, the continuity, so to say.
So we'll talk about a little bit of the logistics behind this Nelsonville-York squad. Of course, you mentioned the 16 graduating seniors from just a year ago. So now the Buckeyes down to just 37 players for this year's team. But as you also said, returning a lot of key guys who are very experienced, very familiar with each other, already have that chemistry built. So really, with a little bit of a smaller team, do you think that really creates any question marks for that squad?
No, I think that it makes them even closer as a team. Not to say that a bigger team and a bigger roster that you're not close with each other already. I mean, they made a trip to the regional championship last year. You got to be a tight-knit group to do that. But like you said, returning those guys like Cameron Sullivan at quarterback, standing, what is he, 6'3",
yeah,
over 230 pounds. I mean, at quarterback, against a team like Trimble, who is very young and maybe a little smaller than they want to be right now, but they're kind of growing into themselves, that's going to be a really tough task for them. And you got Walker Stone in the background, in the backfield, I should say. I think he is the player that I'm most excited to watch this year at Nelsonville-York, just because of his sheer speed and athletic ability that he has on both sides of the ball. I don't know what you have to say about that. But
Yeah, it's, the reason why the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes got as far as they did in the playoffs last year, in my opinion, was because of that offense and defensive line, which that's where they're having to replace quite a few players is up front. And Rusty Richards, he's the kind of guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he'll tell you straight up that's his biggest concern. And so when it comes to those other guys all around, the quarterback, the running back, the receivers, they have a lot of weapons. They still have a lot of weapons. And so you're going to see a change in the Buckeyes offense to take advantage of that, right? Get the ball out of their hands quickly. Get it out to those receivers in space and let them take advantage of what they have as far as the speed advantage is concerned. But when it comes to this game, it's one of those rivalry games. It's a week one game. The craziest things happen in week one, it seems like. Just last year, we went over the hill. And we were in Gloucester in a game where I would say most people would have predicted the Buckeyes would win by at least 4 scores easily. And what happened, Daniel? We're halfway through the fourth quarter, and the Tomcats are still in it because they made it ugly, and it did what you guys talked about. They avoided turnovers and caused turnovers, and I think that's exactly what they're going to have to do tonight to win.
One last little tidbit here on the Buckeyes. We'll talk about Weston Wheatley, a skill position guy, making that move from Athens over to Nelsonville-York, led the state in interceptions as well last year. So how much does a player like that really change what Nelsonville-York is about and what they can do?
Well, I think it's something that you see on most, if not all, high school teams, at least in Southeast Ohio and a majority of the country really is a lot of these players play on both sides of the ball, right? And Weston Wheatley is one of the top wide receivers in the conference, if not in Southeast Ohio as a whole. He had 900 receiving yards last year, 4 or 5 touchdowns as well at Athens, and he translated that to the defensive side, like you said, with 9 interceptions. I think having him on both sides of the ball is so crucial because it connects both sides of the ball that much more. He's got the experience on the offensive side where he knows the schemes, he knows all that stuff, and then bringing it over to the defensive side, it just clicks for him when he gets over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he seems like a guy who's already met. You talked about the chemistry for this Buckeyes team and bringing in a guy of his caliber with his skill set, really, and just meshing in, building chemistry here. It's going to really be kind of a nice storyline here early in week one.
And another thing, Riley, with that is the fact that Weston didn't transfer after the school year last year. He transferred during the winter. So he played football. He played football at Athens, but he played basketball here at Nelsonville-York during the winter. And so he's already been able to establish some of that chemistry with some of these guys like Cameron Sullivan, who also plays basketball. And they had quite a few basketball players that were seniors that graduated that played football as well. But they've already started to establish that chemistry.
So that's going to be something, like I mentioned, a big storyline here in week one, something to build off of for this Buckeye squad. We'll flip things over here a little bit. On the other side of things, what really have you been hearing about this Trimble Tomcats team?
Well, I'll pass it over to Tad as well here in just a second, but I know that they're coming out hungry. Like you said earlier, they're coming out very confident. They did not feel good, as no team would, after that game, that scrimmage last week against Athens. They got punched in the mouth a little bit, and I know they're coming up fired up. Obviously, it's week one. You're 0-0 coming into the game, right? But they're pretty fired up. They're pretty angry. They have a chip on their shoulder about that game last week. It's a young team, and I think one of the great things about being so young like Trimble is, and the fact that Terry Holbert is a first-year head coach, they're all, like Eric said, getting thrown into the fire together. They're all going to grow and learn together. Obviously, Coach Holbert has been in Southeast Ohio football for a very long time, but this is first year with Trimble, and they're all going to get to learn and grow together. I'll pass it over to Tad, though.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, I went and I met one of the old coaches that I used to coach with at Alexander, Greg Holbert, which anybody in this area knows Greg Holbert. He coached for the Trimble Tomcats in the 80s and in the early 90s. Great man. Really good defensive mind, you know, just a great football mind. And again, he was honest that there's going to be some growing pains because they're transitioning head coaches, but they're also transitioning schemes completely. They're not going to be running the old wishbone that was the tradition in the last 10 years at Trimble. It's going to be a whole new offense, you're learning a whole new language, okay? And that's difficult. You know, these are just kids, all right? And they're trying to learn all this, to do all the things that kids need to do as far as going to school and all the things that they have to do with regards to those things. But you know, it just comes with time. It comes with time. It's going to take time for this Trimble program to be where they want to be and be back, you know, every year competing for playoff positioning, right? And I expect that to happen because I'm telling you right now, there's nobody who's going to work harder than the Holberts and that Trimble coaching staff.
Absolutely, and we know how highly touted those guys are in their own sense. We talk about Trimble, really, the youth, especially talking about under center, such an important position, especially having to come on the road here to face the Buckeyes week one. So really, in that aspect, under center for the Tomcats, what are you seeing?
You know, coming into week one, at least this week, like Tad said, and like I said just a moment ago, I mean, it's going to be a lot of growing pains. I think that the most important thing going into tonight is ball security. Absolutely. I think that we're going to see a lot of game planning around keep away, so to say, right? I think that they're going to try to use that clock a lot. Exactly. They're going to try to slow that pace of play down, whereas Nelsonville-York, like you said, really wants to speed it up. They're going a little more spread this year after graduating some of the bigger guys on both sides of the line as well as skill positions. They want to get the ball out quick. They want to move fast. I think Trimble, it's the exact opposite. They want to move slow and play the game at their pace. So I think that's going to be the biggest factor tonight.
So you already talked about Trimble potentially being outmanned in certain positions on the field, especially in this matchup. So really, you talked about how through 4 quarters of that game last season, Trimble just hung around. They kept fighting, never gave up throughout the entirety of that game. So if they want to try to replicate or better that performance from the 2025 season, what do they need to do?
Well, it's 100% ball security. Like I said just a moment ago, it was 8-8 at halftime last year, and the final score of that game was 34-8. So Trimble didn't score in that second half, but I think, Tad, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it was 16-8 or 15-8 after
14-8
going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. So the turnovers picked up a little bit in that fourth quarter last year, but if they can play the game at their pace and they can control that ball, I think they're going to like where they're going to be at regardless of the score at the end of the game.
Well, guys, that's all the time we have for this segment. I just want to thank you so much for joining me here today. It's really been a pleasure to have you guys on. Of course, Pure Rock, you see it on the shirt right there. Catch these guys for Game Time coming up soon here from Boston Field. We're going to step away for a quick break here on Football Friday Nights.
Reliable heating and cooling, Airclass Heating and Cooling has you covered. From furnaces to AC generators to fireplaces and indoor air quality, we keep your home comfortable all year. Call 740-448-7278 or visit us at 24 State Street. Airclass, comfort you can count on.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.T. Hoy, LLC has you covered. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transportation. A.T. Hoy, charting a course for care.
For more than 90 years, Austin Powder's Red Diamond Plan has been part of the Southern Ohio community, and today that legacy is stronger than ever. Austin Powder continues investing in the people and communities that make this region strong. They're now hiring for several positions, including maintenance technicians starting at $24 to $32 an hour, electrical and instrumentation technicians starting at $28 to $32 an hour, and operations positions starting at $19 to $28 an hour. Apply today at austinpowder.com/United States/careers or call 740-596-5286.
COAD Senior Programs is a proud sponsor of all of Southeastern Ohio football programs and all of their student athletes. To become an AmeriCorps Senior Volunteer who makes a difference in your community, call 740-594-8499 or find them on the web by searching COAD Senior Programs. COAD, improving the quality of life for individuals and families in Appalachian, Ohio since 1971.
Press 1 if you know your party's extension. Press 2.
We've all been there. At Corby Leach State Farm, you can skip the phone maze because you'll talk to real humans. People who know your name, understand your community, and are ready to help protect what matters most. Auto, home, renters, life, or business insurance. You'll get real conversations and real help every step of the way. Call Corby Leach State Farm today at 740-385-6878.
Real humans, real help, real good neighbor.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Farmers Bank, they've been helping neighbors grow for over a century with personal checking and savings, business loans, convenient online and mobile banking, and customer service that treats you like family. Whether you're planting roots or planning your future, Farmers Bank will help every step of the way. Stop by one of their local branches today and experience why Farmers Bank is your hometown bank since 1904. Member FDIC. Farmers Bank, growing with you.
From first kicks to Friday night touchdowns, I'm Carrie, owner of a Future Look 3D/4D ultrasound, and I'm proud to be rooted right here in our community. I love celebrating the moments that bring families together and supporting the local athletes who make game night special. Because when our community comes together, everybody wins. Visit afuturelook.com to book your ultrasound today and follow A Future Look on Facebook for adorable baby moments, updates, and more. A Future Look 3D/4D ultrasound, proudly supporting local sports.
It's game on time, Southern Ohio. Time to sit on those middle bleachers and cheer loud for your favorite high school football team. The only thing that might make the night better is a more comfortable seat. You know I'm right. As a proud supporter of all the area teams here at Globe Furniture, we have the solution for you. A brand new recliner. And while that may not work at those high school games, college game day, NFL games at home, we've got you covered. Recliners starting at $5.99 right here at Globe Furniture in downtown Chillicothe.
Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new...
We welcome you back to Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Stores. Speaking of which,
it sure is.
You guys can see this, maybe not in radio land, but here on camera on the YouTube stream, Total Media Sports, we got some swag courtesy of Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
Shout
Obviously,
out Tad and Daniel for bringing that.
Absolutely, those guys rock. Of course, they joined us for that last segment, did a very nice job breaking down this matchup for us tonight. We'll move right in to segment number 5. We like to call It's Happening. This is our first set of picks for this week's slate of games. We also got 1 hour now to kick off. So the weather update, once again, brought to you by Hocking College. Still sitting about that 81-degree mark, pretty similar to when we got here. Cooled down a little bit, and if it continues to do so leading up to kickoff, it's going to be beautiful weather for this one. We'll talk real quickly about something cool that our man Jeremy has been working on behind the scenes. It's the Game Break site, and man, the first time he showed this to me, a little bit of a backstory, was probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago when I was still the new kid on the block. And Eric, I was completely blown away.
Yeah, I mean, you should be, right? It's every game that we stream in Southeastern Ohio live in your hands. We're going to post a link to it here to the Total Media Sports Facebook page here in just a few moments. But every stream that we do in Southeastern Ohio in your hands, kind of similar to NFL Red Zone type of thing. Check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let us know what you think.
We'll move right into our game picks. It's time for the Willis Advantage Pick to Win game selections. And we also have something new for tonight. If you also joined us last night, we are carrying over something that's going to be brand new to today's episode. It's what we like to call the Friday Night Freebie. This is our one mulligan we get to try to reverse one of the picks we made last night. If we feel so, if we feel compelled to do so in any way, shape, or form, we do get one pick we are allowed to change. We'll kick things right off. Union Local making that trip to Warren. I think Union Local goes on the road and gets it done, picking right back up after a strong 2025 campaign under Bernie Thompson.
Bernie Thompson has them playing well. I'll take the Jets with you here to get it done on the road in week 1.
Morgan playing host to Marietta. I think this game could be a little bit of a surprise, a little closer than people might expect. Marietta building off of a 2-game win streak to end last season's campaign. I think Morgan, however, gets it done with that home field advantage.
Marietta's gotten some nice looks this preseason, including against Circleville and against Jackson. It'll be interesting to see how they come out. I like how Morgan finished the year going on the road and stealing a playoff win at Coal Grove. I'll take the Raiders tonight at home.
Move on to that Frontier and Bridgeport matchup. Once again, I think it's the home field team, Bridgeport in this case, protecting home field. It's also first-year head coach Kurt Smelly for that Bridgeport squad. I think they get it done, start off nicely to his tenure.
Be a nice start to the season. Bridgeport hasn't put together a winning season since 2014. It's been quite the stretch for the Bulldogs, but I think they get it done tonight and start the year 1-0. Give me Bridgeport.
We'll head down near the Ohio River. Sciotaville East playing host to Millersport, Eric.
I tell you what, I think this is going to be a really good football game to open up the season. I like the home field advantage in week 1, but I'm going to use it. I'm using the Friday night freebie. Last night I felt really good about the Tartans. I slept on it. I thought a lot about the Tartans all night, Riley. I didn't stop thinking about the Tartans. I'm going to take Millersport. I'm going to flip it, use my freebie in week 1. I'm going to roll with Millersport.
That would line you right up with my pick from yesterday, which I'm actually going to keep the same and stick with Millersport on the road in that one. We'll move right in. It's Fairfield Christian Academy playing host to Southeastern. I think FCA has what it takes to get it done at home. And really, as we talked about yesterday, it's a team that has been steadily improving.
Yeah, they have been. They improved last year to 5-5 after winning just 3 games the year before. I like the direction that this program is going. Larry Willoughby last year, his first year with Southeastern. He's an alumni of that program. He's a very proud coach, but I don't know if they open up at home with that win. I'm going to roll with the Knights, FCA.
We'll jump back to a team that has another new coach on the block. It's Westfall playing host to Madison Plains. I think Westfall gets it done at home. What would be a 1-0 start for first-year head coach Nate Medler.
It would be, and I agree with you here in this one. I look for Westfall, the Mustangs, to open up at home with a win as well. Give me Westfall.
Jump over to the next page of action here. It's Westland going to travel to Tays Valley, another big-time Week 1 matchup. And in this case, I think the Road Dogs get it done. Westland, a big-time road victory at Tays Valley to kick off their 2026.
It would be a big-time road victory. I'm going to roll with the Vikings here. They're one of the bigger schools in our coverage area. I'm going to roll with Tays Valley to get it done at home.
Coming right up next, it's Zane Trace playing host to Logan Elm. I think Zane Trace, you look at the field, it's beautiful. You look at the team, they've been producing. They've had great results. The atmosphere going to be very strong there at Zane Trace. I think that's enough for a Week 1 victory.
I think you're exactly right. I think they took a little bit of note of what conference foe Unioto did last night. They're going to try to run something similar tonight against Logan Elm. I like the path Dylan Wares has his football team on. Give me the Pioneers to open up the year 1-0.
We'll move right there, pretty close to a team that I live close to, the mighty Memphis Falcons, going to pay a visit over to Rock Hill, Eric.
This is one I considered earlier. I talked about with you before we went on air. I think Memphis has a chance in this game, Riley, but I only get one flip, man. I think I used it already. I got to roll with Rock Hill.
I'm right on board with you. That Rock Hill team at home. Of course, 2 new head coaches for these teams. For Memphis, it's Josh Bailey. For Rock Hill, it's Trey Wilds, who has a little bit of a history being a former on the coaching staff there for Memphis. So that'll be a pretty interesting storyline in Week 1. Now we have the Russell Red Devils from over in Kentucky going to travel over to the Ohio side to take on Colegrove. This is going to be a big-time matchup right there on the river. I think Colegrove has what it takes to get it done in what is a huge Week 1 home win.
Colegrove opening at home would be a huge win to start the season over Russell. They got a lot to replace. That concerns me in Week 1. I'm going to take the Red Devils from across the river to get it done.
Western Brown playing host to Hillsboro, a matchup we saw just a year ago, Week 1, Eric.
Yeah, I like this game. This is a really good football game most seasons. Couple of down years for Western Brown, but I think they bounce back tonight and get this one done. I'll take the Broncos.
I agree. I think the Broncos get revenge. They avenge that game from Week 1, as I mentioned just a year ago, protecting that home field advantage. Western Brown gets it done. We'll move into our next one, Sims Valley paying a visit over to Chesapeake once again right there on that Ohio-West Virginia border down there on the river. This, I think, is a sleeper game. I think people aren't giving it as much credit or attention as need be. Chesapeake, of course, looking to turn things around for second-year head coach Kevin Hutchinson. However, Sims Valley going to be a lot to handle in Week 1 for Chesapeake. I think they get it done on the road.
I think there's cause for concern around this game, Riley. I think Sims Valley's passing attack is going to be a lot for Chesapeake to handle. I'll take the Vikings on the road in a rivalry that hasn't gone their way.
Of course. We'll move right in. Liberty Union going to make that trip to Monroe Central, Eric.
I like this football game. Last year was a 1-point game. I think the Seminoles owe the Lions one from a year ago. I'm going to take Monroe Central tonight.
I couldn't agree with you more. You mentioned that 1-point game a year ago. It was a 21-20 victory for Liberty Union. Monroe Central maybe remembering that one a little bit coming Week 1 of this 2026 campaign. They get it done at home. Now it's Lancaster going to play host to Hilliard Darby, Eric.
Yeah, we talked about 1-point games a year ago. This was another one. Hilliard Darby fell to Lancaster a year ago, and I think Lancaster improved this offseason. I think they certainly got better at the head coach realm. Jeremy McKinney coming over from Bloom Carroll across the county. I like the Golden Gales in this game. Give me Lancaster.
Another 21-20 finish last year. We just talked about that Liberty Union Monroe Central matchup. It also happened a year ago in this Hilliard Darby Lancaster game. However, like you said, I think Lancaster has a lot to build off of. They protect home field Week 1, start off 1-0. Move right on. Fisher Catholic paying a visit to Belpre. Of course, you look back at that Fisher Catholic Irish team from a year ago. They were very strong, great throughout the greater part of that season. I think they have what it takes to get it done on the road Week 1.
I think you're exactly right. I'm going to go with the Irish on the road to get this one done. Give me Fisher Catholic.
Now, New Lexington playing host to Fairfield Union. New Lexington just 4 losses in the last 2 seasons combined. They beat Fairfield Union not once but twice just a season ago.
Yeah, they did, and I'm afraid that they're in for 3 beatings in the past 365 days. I'm going to roll with the Panthers to get it done. 11-2 season a year ago, and they're at home. Give me the Panthers.
We talk about tough pills to swallow, and for Fairfield Union, that would be getting beat 3 times by that New Lexington team. However, I picked New Lexington yesterday. It's time to make a quick switch. I think Fairfield Union says we're not going to let it happen. New Lexington is not playing for that hat trick, 3 victories within a span of a calendar year. Fairfield Union is going to go on the road Week 1 and take down New Lexington. Move right in. A team we just talked about. It's Bloom Carroll going to pay a visit over to Caledonia River Valley. 2 new head coaches in Steve Dalton and Dan Art. I think that creates a lot of suspense in this matchup. However, that Bloom Carroll team, of course, very prestigious school district in their own regard. I think Bloom Carroll gets it done on the road week 1.
2 new head coaches, first ever meeting between these 2 schools. I think this is going to be a good football game going forward. I'll take Bloom Carroll to get it done on the road in the first ever meeting.
Finishing off this page for me, it's Bern Union paying a visit to River Valley. I think Bern Union doesn't see much problem in this game. They get it done on the road here in week 1 and make it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I think Bern Union's going to burn one on the road tonight. I like Bern Union to get it done. I'll go with the Rockets.
Our last small slew of picks here in this section. It's West Jeff, of course. A lot of people very familiar with their game out of Jeffersonville, Ohio. They are Amanda Clear Creek. Going to travel to Jeffersonville for that one. Going to be a lot of fireworks. However, I think West Jeff and that home advantage is going to be too much to handle.
It's a great home environment up there for the Rough Riders. They're replacing their quarterback, Austin Bisher, from a year ago. I like West Jefferson to get it done, though. Give me the Rough Riders there.
We'll talk about a team that has quite the journey for a week 1 game. Fed Hawk, properly known as Federal Hawking, going to make that travel down to Greene and Franklin Furnace to take on the Bobcats. It's an hour and 41-minute bus ride for Fed Hawk. However, I don't think that phases them. They go down to Franklin Furnace week 1 and claim a victory.
It's a long trip, but a beautiful facility once you get there for the Lancers. I like the direction Dominic Branch has his team going. Give me Fed Hawk on a long road trip.
Another big-time matchup here week 1. Alexander paying a visit over to Miller. I think Alexander, another case of a team that maybe owes them one from just a year ago. They get some road revenge over Miller here in week 1.
Last year, this was a great football game as well. 18-15 win for Miller, their first win over Alexander since 1991 after losing 9 straight. I think Alexander makes it right, goes on the road and gets one in Hemlock.
2 more quick picks here. Washington Courthouse paying a visit to Mechanicsburg. We've already talked about the prestigious program that is Mechanicsburg. I think they start off this year at home 1-0.
I love this style of football. I'm going to roll right there with you. I think Mechanicsburg gets it done tonight. Give me the Indians in week 1.
Finally, the elite mascot matchup we talked about earlier between Ridgewood and Fort Fry. Man, I think the Cadets have what it takes to get it done. Defending home field, Cadets get it done in week 1.
This is going to be a great football game. Very tough game to pick from, but I'm going to roll with Fort Fry to defend Fort Fry Cadet Stadium. When your stadium's named after your team, give it to me, man. Fort Fry is going to get it done. I'll take the Cadets at home.
Going to be an elite matchup here in week 1. We'll take another quick break. We have more picks when we come back for our final segment. Kickoff is next. Coming up to you next on Football Friday Nights.
Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new Quad Rib panel from Higgins Steel Roofing. Quad Rib delivers the clean appearance homeowners love while using an exposed fastener system for faster, more affordable installation. Choose from 8 textured colors and 16 smooth colors to match any home or building. Get the look you want at a price you'll love. Visit Higgins Steel Roofing and ask about the new Quad Rib roofing panel. Looking for the sleek, modern look of standing seam roofing without the premium price? Introducing the new Quad Rib panel from Higgins Steel Roofing. Quad Rib delivers the clean appearance homeowners love while using an exposed fastener system for faster, more affordable installation. Choose from 8 textured colors and 16 smooth colors to match any home or building. Get the look you want at a price you'll love. Visit Higgins Steel Roofing and ask about the new Quad Rib roofing panel.
Whether you're on the go or there's just not enough time in your day, Holzer is making care more convenient for you. Don't feel like leaving the house for healthcare? Don't. Holzer Virtual Care for when and where you need it. Think Holzer first.
Need new tires? Rick's Tire and Auto has you covered. Looking for top-notch auto service? Rick's Tire and Auto has expertise. And now they're bringing their A-game to Athens County. Owned by Rick Dieter, formerly of Huddle Tire in Athens. Rick's Tire and Auto Service is located at 1353 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Right off the first Nelsonville exit on 33 West. Stop in for a quick tire change or oil change or schedule an appointment by calling 220-218-4169. At Rick's Tire and Auto, we have your vehicle covered.
The Medicare open enrollment period takes place annually from October 15th through December 7th. During this time, Medicare beneficiaries can make changes to their Part D prescription drug plan and Part C Medicare Advantage plans. The Area Agency on Aging District 7 can help answer questions and offer unbiased information and direction for Medicare beneficiaries. For more information, call 1-800-582-7277 or email info@aaa7.org.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
This football season, Willis Advantage Property Maintenance Solutions is proud to support our local teams. From asphalt repair and parking lot stripping to more handyman services, we make the play on your property. Call 740-577-4574.
Big projects, tough challenges, strong communities.
For more than 80 years, Stockmeister Construction Services has helped shape Southern Ohio through trusted construction, design-build solutions, mechanical contracting, and custom fabrication.
Learn more at stockmeister.com or call 740-286-8000. Looking for a rewarding career? Visit jobs.stockmeister.com. Stockmeister Construction Services. We can do together.
Welcome back to Football Friday Nights, presented by Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Quick shout out to our friends over at Zip Printing, hooking us up. Football Friday Nights presents the Playbook. It's a nice guide to Southern Ohio football. Everything you can want, of course, Total Media Sports for the fall 2026 season. Come pick one up. Come visit us. We have a table full of them. I think we printed off around 30,000, so they're all for you guys, completely free of charge. Come grab 2, come grab 200. It does not matter to us.
We brought 1,000 with us, and see if you can tell us which field locally is in the background. We'll give you hints in Athens County field. That's all we'll say.
Maybe a prize on hand. If somebody could guess that for us, maybe not here, as a little hint, could be a little bit familiar in that sense. Kickoff is next. We're going to go into our next segment of game picks. We'll kick things off. Athens making that trip to Logan. They're on 97.3 FM WATH there in Athens. Of course, 99th all-time matchup between these teams. I think the Bulldogs get it done on the road.
I like that pick, man. I really like Logan, though, with the returners they've got and Coach Hall being in his first year. I think he brings a spark. I'll take the Chieftains here in a Week 1 surprise.
The game I mentioned earlier, Waverly paying a visit to Miami Trace. I think Miami Trace builds off the momentum from last season. They get it done at home, starting off 1-0.
Feels like Miami Trace has a lot to prove this season, and we spoke earlier that FAC is wide open now, right? So every game before conference play certainly means a lot. I'll take the Panthers in the home opener tonight over the Tigers.
A big-time star-studded matchup between Gallia Academy and Boyd County. I got to go with the home team, Boyd County. If you've ever been down there to Cannonsburg, you know how those fans get about their high school football. That one on Pure Rock 99.5 FM, as well as the Hank 105.7 there. Also on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel, you can find that one. Like I said, Boyd County built together a very solid past few seasons. They start this one 1-0.
They've done a really nice job the past few seasons. I think Gallia Academy was poised to do some nice things, but again, rumors circulating that quarterback Max Canada for the Blue Devils is dealing with a significant knee injury. I don't like that question mark in Week 1. I hope the young man's okay. We're hoping for his health, praying for his health. I'm going to take the Lions in Week 1 because of that injury, but I hope they get the wheels back on in Gallia Academy.
Racine Southern going to play host to South Gallia, another big-time Week 1 matchup. That one on 92.1 FM WIVK, the Middleport and Pomeroy. I think South Gallia has the pieces that it needs to get it done on the road Week 1.
I think they do as well. Can they put all those pieces together? 2024, we saw a different story, and they had some nice pieces then. I think they do tonight. I'll take the Rebels to take down Southern. I'll roll with the Rebels.
The game we will be on site for tomorrow night. It's Megs paying a visit to Eastern Megs, a newer school high school football rivalry matchup. That one also on 92.1 FM. As I mentioned, a Saturday game we will be on site for tomorrow night. I think Megs still owes Eastern Megs a little bit from dropping that Week 1 matchup just a year ago. They get it done on the road.
I love it. Stylistically, Megs can present some real issues for Eastern Megs, but I like the Eagles' ability to run the football. I'll take the Eagles this Saturday night in a great, fresh county rivalry.
The Huntington Huntsmen going to pay a visit over to Newark Catholic. That one on 100.9 FM WXIZ there, Chillicothe Waverly. First-year head coach for Newark Catholic, it's Tom Phillips. With that being said, it's going to be the road team once again claiming victory. Give me the Huntington Huntsmen.
Long way to Newark from the township in Huntington over there in Chillicothe. I like this road trip for Huntington to open the year. I actually think they'll compete very well in the SVC. I think they'll be one of the top top 4 teams in the conference this season. Give me the Huntsmen out of the township to get it done.
A game you'll be able to find on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel. It's the South Point Pointers going to travel up to Beaver Eastern. Of course, Beaver Eastern building off of a great 2025, and even in seasons before that, they're 34-3 overall. Of course, we talk about the win streak there in the regular season for Beaver Eastern. I think they have enough, or what it takes, to get it done at home in week 1.
South Point has some athletes that can put some stress on Beaver Eastern, but I don't like this matchup. Like you said, 32 straight for Beaver Eastern in the regular season. I like them to open up their season at home 1-0. Give me
McLean going to pay a visit over to Adina. That one on Pure Rock 97.5 FM there in Greenfield. McLean a shutout win to start last season. I think they go on the road this time to Adina and make it another game 1.
68 times these two teams have played each other. A bit of an underrated rivalry in the area as far as I'm concerned. McLean leads that series for 42-23-2. I think the Tigers go on the road and get it done in week 1.
A game that I describe as going to be extremely gritty, one at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be some good old-fashioned Southern Ohio football between Wellston paying a visit to the Oak Hill Oaks. That one on the Bull 97.7 FM, as well as 105.3 there in Jackson, as well as on the Total Media Sports YouTube. Give me the Oaks at home in this one.
Another great rivalry here. 71st meeting between these two Jackson County schools. Wellston leads the series 45-24-1. I actually think the Oaks get it done tonight under head coach Weston Hale. 2 first-year head coaches here. Give me the Oaks.
Vinton County playing host to Waterford. That one on Pure Rock 98.7 FM WYRO MacArthur, as well as on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel. Waterford trying to build off of a strong 2025 season that unfortunately ended in heartbreaking fashion for them against Danville.
Vinton County really struggled in this game a year ago. I'm going to take Waterford on the road tonight against the Vikings in MacArthur.
I'm right on board with you there. We talk about the momentum from Waterford trying to avenge that loss against Danville. That is still fresh in the minds, I'm sure. A lot of the coaching staffs, a lot of the fans, and of course, a lot of the players in that one. A matchup that I said is my sleeper game of the week. It's the Portsmouth West Senator traveling over to see the Fairland Dragons there on 52 headed east. 92.1 FM WIOI there in Portsmouth. I think the Senators go on the road in week 1 and get it done.
I roll right there with you. They've been in the playoffs each of the last 5 years. Fairland's got some figuring out to do. Give me the Senators.
Moving right on from that one, Lucasville Valley. The Indians going to play host to Paint Valley. A beautiful field there in Lucasville. I think Valley gets it done at home.
Valley, one of the most improved teams in the area a year ago. I'll stay with you there. I'll take the Indians.
Move right in the game that we said everyone in Scioto County is going to be at tonight. It's that Portsmouth-Wheelersburg matchup up on the hill in the Burg. I think the Pirates get it done week 1. That one, of course, mix 99.3 FM WNXT there in Portsmouth. Wheelersburg picks up right where they left off a season ago.
All Burg in week 1. I don't think it'll be particularly pretty. Milk jugs, cannons, all kinds of sounds down there. Give me the Burg.
They have all kinds of firepower there in Wheelersburg, and there is no doubt about it. Speaking of firepower, the next matchup on hand here, it's the Chillicothe Cavaliers playing host to Circleville. That one on the C 103.7 FM there in Chillicothe. And I think really the message is going to be for this Chillicothe team is how are you going to stop our guy out of the backfield, Carte Ligon? That's enough of an argument for me. I'm rolling with the Cavaliers.
I love this matchup. It has all the potential in the world to be the best game in the area as far as I'm concerned this evening. Carte Ligon is that dude, but he's only one dude. Circleville's going to do enough to leave Hernstein Field with a victory. Not saying Ligon won't get his own, but I think Circleville finds a way to pull it out late. Give me Circleville.
Of course, these games played 11 on 11, not always one with just one guy, so split on the picks there. We have one last final pick, but before that, we're going to take a quick break. Of course, it's the pick for the game. We're at the Trimble Tomcats paying a visit over across the hill to see the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. We will come back to you next with that pick on Football Friday Nights.
Big projects, tough challenges, strong communities.
For more than 80 years, Stockmeister Construction Services has helped shape Southern Ohio through trusted construction, design-build solutions, mechanical contracting, and custom fabrication.
Learn more at stockmeister.com or call 740-286-8000. Looking for a rewarding career? Visit jobs.stockmeister.com. Stockmeister Construction Services. We can do together.
Don't let bone, joint, or muscle pain keep you on the sidelines. Whether it's a sports injury, sprain, or strain, the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute Express Clinic offers walk-in care with no appointment needed. Get expert orthopedic care quickly. Visit adina.org/express clinic for more information. That's adina.org/express clinic.
Need reliable heating and cooling? Airclass Heating and Cooling has you covered. From furnaces to AC generators to fireplaces and indoor air quality, we keep your home comfortable all year. Call 740-448-7278 or visit us at 24 State Street. Airclass, comfort you can count on.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.T. Hoy, LLC has you covered. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transportation. A.T. Hoy, charting a course for care.
For more than 90 years, Austin Powder's Red Diamond Plan has been part of the Southern Ohio community, and today that legacy is stronger than ever. Austin Powder continues investing in the people and communities that make this region strong. They're now hiring for several positions, including maintenance technicians starting at $24 to $32 an hour, electrical and instrumentation technicians starting at $28 to $32 an hour, and operations positions starting at $19 to $28 an hour. Apply today at austinpowder.com/United States/careers or call 740-596-5286.
COAD Senior Programs is a proud sponsor of all of Southeastern Ohio football programs and all of their student athletes. To become an AmeriCorps senior volunteer who makes a difference in your community, call 740-594-8499 or find them on the web by searching COAD Senior Programs. COAD, improving the quality of life for individuals and families in Appalachian, Ohio since 1971.
Press 1 if you know your party's extension. Press 2.
We've all been there. At Corby Leach State Farm, you can skip the phone maze because you'll talk to real humans. People who know your name, understand your community, and are ready to help protect what matters most. Auto, home, renters, life, or business insurance. You'll get real conversation.
Welcome back once again to Football Friday Nights as we wrap up our pregame coverage here with our final pick of the evening. Of course, it's this Trimble-Nelsonville-York matchup, that one on Pure Rock 105.5 FM, as well as on the Total Media Sports YouTube page. Of course, our game of the week tonight. We talk about a storied program and under a very successful head coach in Rusty Richards. I think the experience is going to pay dividends. Give me the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes.
Well, Riley, before I get to my picking, I like that one. I got a few guys who are going to come in here with us and help us pick the winners of tonight's game. I've got Cole wearing number 12. I've got Henry in the brown shirt, Trace wearing 77, Grady wearing 66, and Emmett wearing 57. They're going to help us figure out our winner of tonight's game. Who do you guys have in tonight's game, Trimble or Nelsonville-York?
Nelsonville-York.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Tomcats or Buckeyes, and you better say it loud. All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and give my pick. I'll take Trimble to win tonight. I'm just kidding. Give me the Buckeyes right there with you. It's going to be a great game here in Athens County. I think we're all in consensus. Give us the Buckeyes tonight here in Nelsonville.
Guys, we are so excited to be here at Boston Field. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. This has been Friday's edition of Football Friday Nights. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night at Easter Megs. Once again, this has been Football Friday Nights.
You guys are awesome. Will you take a picture with us?